Welcome back to Sporting News' Eye on MLB, brought to you by Sony's new Xperia Ion smartphone. I'm Stephen Levine. This is Tom Vandervoort. And the Major League Baseball All-Star Game has come to a close. It was a rout. The National League on top of the American League, 8-0, and the bloodletting began in the first inning, where Justin Verlander, of all people, gave up 5 runs.
The first inning was the ball game, because once the National League had a 5-run lead, they could just turn that staff loose with a great deal of confidence. And I think Verlander really failed to establish a strike zone as he normally does. And it just goes to show you, you may have electric stuff, but if you don't have your command, hitters of this caliber will take you to the woodshed.
Yeah, well, I caught up with Sporting News' Stan McNeil, who was there in Kansas City and heard from Justin Verlander. Here's what Stan had to say.
He was comfortable. He said he had fun out there, but he just did not go with his usual game plan. He is a guy who typically comes out in the first inning throwing, low 90s, trying to establish his command, get his delivery right, and then as the game wears on, he tends to throw harder. He's a guy who has thrown 100 miles an hour in the 9th inning, which is basically unheard of. Tonight, he knew he wouldn't be throwing but 1 or 2 innings, so he wanted to please the fans. He went out there throwing as hard as he could in the first inning, and he sacrificed his command, left a number of pitches up, and as he said, whenever he tries to do that, it usually doesn't work out too well for him, and tonight was a pretty good example of that.
Interesting, because he went on to say, look, if I have the opportunity to do this again, to start in another All-Star game, I'm going to approach it exactly the same way.
Well, he might want to rethink that, because it was not pretty this evening.
Verlander says this is a game for the fans.
It's true.
And he doesn't want the fans to sit there watching him throw 90 miles an hour.
Well, if it so happens that his Detroit Tigers get the World Series, he may just wish he'd approached it a little differently.
No, it'll be redemption. It will be redemption for Justin Verlander if that comes to pass. That's Tom Vandervoort. I'm Stephen Levine. Thanks for watching.